Hey guys, so I have a broody hen. I have been trying to break her broody just by taking her off the nest each day, removing the eggs, tossing her out with the other chickens and a couple of others that has worked with this year. But this girl is bound and determined that she wants to be broody. So I'm gonna take her and put her in a pen that she is not going to like. It's one that Chris and I made a few months ago, and I will put the video on here on how we made it. And it's just made out of a truck topper. There is no bed in it for her to get in. There's no hay, there's no bedding, so it looks very plain, but it is 100% safe. There's plenty of room for her to move around. Normally, I would just use something like this. In the past, I have just used dog kennels, but that really limits their space that they have to walk around. And I want her to get up and walk around and cool off and not just be trapped in a little small space. But I also don't want her to have access to nest boxes or anything like that. So I'm gonna catch her. And if you are curious on how to move a broody hen with a vinegar bucket, it's what I call it, my vinegar bucket, which is essentially a gallon vinegar container, which would work with most any gallon container with the bottom cut off. I will link that video also. But let me get her moved and I will show you her new home. All right, so as you can see, I just have her a log in there if she wants to get up on something. And then she has a couple, Macy out. She has a couple of containers of water and feed. It is set on a cattle panel, so nothing can dig underneath it. And this sucker is heavy, so nothing is gonna move it. So she is going to go in here by herself for a couple of days. I have all of the windows open because we are in Florida. And so there's screens on all the windows, and then there is hardware cloth covering everything. So she'll get a nice cross breeze and she should stay nice and cool in here for a couple days. Hopefully this will break her broody because she needs to join the flock and eat and drink like a normal chicken. So I'm gonna get her in here and this is where she'll stay for the next few days. And this is something that Chris and I made with just some leftover scraps of hardware cloth and an old truck topper that was just sitting, going to waste. I used to use it for dry storage on top of one of my chicken pens. Hey guys, this is Shannon and Chris, and we are taking this old truck topper and turning it into a chicken tractor. So we're taking some scrap pieces of our hardware cloth that he has, and we're going to put it over the sections of the window that do not have glass, that open up where the screens are, to keep creatures from climbing in and getting them. We think this will work really well. We need lots of ventilation because we are in Florida and it is really hot here. So we are gonna do all of the windows over the screens everywhere that we can ventilate. And then it is gonna be sitting on a cattle panel, a very stiff cattle panel, not like the bendable ones, but the very stiff, thicker gauged cattle panels that don't bend at all. And that way we can just hook that piece of metal and drag it, and we'll be able to take the topper and the cattle panel with it. So it'll have a bottom and the chickens will have shade and ventilation and shelter. So I've not seen anyone else do anything like this, so we're gonna give it a try. So what we are doing is we're riveting this on instead of screwing it in so that there are no sharp points on the inside for any of the chickens to get hurt on. So we're gonna have rivets spaced out holding this down. That way there are no sharp edges. All right, everything is riveted in place. We have hardware cloth over all of the windows. The glass door in the front will just close completely. And it'd be difficult for something to pry that and lift it open, but I can always put a brick in front of it if that's something I'm concerned about. So we're gonna go drop this off tonight, and I'll finish setting up a run area tomorrow for it, because I'm actually gonna put a sick chicken in here, but this would be good for, you know, a mom and babies. But for now, it's gonna be a sick chicken that I need to separate from the flock, but I still want her to have access to grass and fresh food. Sorry it is so dark, but this kind of just gives you a general idea. I'll come out in the light tomorrow and show you a little more. We have one of these cattle panels, and as you can see, it's real thick gauged. Nothing is going to be able to easily climb up and get through that, and that is what it is sitting on. And then the door just will open. Okay, so the door will open. I can put them in here at night, and they'll have grass under there. And then what I'm gonna do is I have a little canopy thing right here, and I'm gonna set the canopy up in front and then do some chicken cloth around that, just to make a temporary little run area. But if I wanted to use this as a chicken tractor and drag it around and keep the chickens in it all the time, I would. But I'm gonna leave it here for the moment. I don't want to have to drag this every day and move it just for one chicken. So I'm gonna make it's a little run to go into on the outside, and then be able to close it in at night. And I'll make it a little tiny roost to go in there so it can get up off the ground at night. So this is the kind of paneling that is extending all the way around, except in the front. Because of how the front glass closes, it just has to close up to the metal, and then I have a brick in front of it so nothing can pull it open. And if anything tries to dig under, it's gonna hit this metal and not be able to dig up. The whole bottom is covered. And as you can see, she is eating and drinking because she's not left her nest in days, except when I take her off and toss her out. And I have enough chickens and I don't want any more roosters. So she needs to get off of her nest. So I'll leave her in here for a couple days by herself. All the other chickens can come up and see her through the window, and she can see them. And in a couple days, she will be ready to join the flock. So I think this is a better option than just a dog pen, and she will be much happier. All right, guys, if you enjoyed the video and you want to see how to move a broody hen with a vinegar bottle, or how I ferment my feed and how this was made, I will include it all. All right, have a great day.